I want to re-review old shows because like now that I'm older, I feel like I might have a different outlook on it than I did back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, girl, y'all watching season 3 of Love and Hip Hop, watching Tammy Rivera, like just all of these different women believing these niggas' lies and like letting the niggas drag the lies out to use them as long as they can. Mimi and Nico, Stevie J and Jocelyn, like, and then especially with Waka and Tammy because we really thought their relationship was more legitimate than everybody else. But the way
Mm-hmm.
he kept cheating on her until she eventually had to divorce him, and she thought she was done with that once she got on Love and Hip Hop, and it
Mm,
continued for at least a decade longer.
damn.
Yeah, y'all. Watching them shows back, child, even watching Yandy, that's how I came up. People was mad at somebody. Well, somebody, they weren't mad, but they said I was way off, but I wasn't. I was looking at how Yandy has been like pivoting her career so that she can be the most valuable woman to Mendeecees, right?
Yes.
So let me explain. So like Mendeecees, first of all, you wanted like I feel like a girl like Yandy, you book smart, you nerdy, but you in hip hop. So that means you wanted like a rough dude. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get a roughneck. You wanted a
Mhm.
roughneck nigga. So you get involved in music, and the underworld of music is being a drug dealer. I feel like she wanted to get in music on her own. But you meet somebody like Mendeecees, and now he has all of these other women. You beautiful, but so are they. So how do you remain valuable above all of the other women? You have more access, your career, your drive and your career is of value to him. And she really found that out when he went to jail. When she pivoted into politics and getting involved in, prison reform and all of those things, she made herself valuable again to him in a way that the other women might not have. Because, like, if he's still fucking with Samantha and Erica and all of those women, yeah, they got coochie, they got, another, titty for him to lay on. But if you can get his ass out of prison, you are way more valuable to him than any of those women. So you will be able to keep him. So I was just making it a point that I felt like she was moving in her career based on her drive, but also based on being more valuable to keep Mendeecees because she's always in her mind competing with the other women that he is cheating on her with.
Mm.
So to me, it was just something that I noticed because I started watching it back, and why you in season 3, she just had that baby. He's still not treating her right. The baby shower, he left her talking about your daddy can bring the gifts home with you. I'm going out with my boys. Then after
Mm-hmm.
he had the baby, she like, I need to start working out again because he not paying attention to me. So she was already in that. Then he goes to jail. Then y'all know how it go when a nigga go to jail. They depending on you. They not out in the world. So now they somewhere you know where they are and they need you. That feels good. So after Yandy spent a nice little bit of time with him going back and forth to jail and her feeling powerless, now you
Mhm.
start befriending these people in politics and these city council members and getting involved in politics. So now you can make life a little bit easier for him. I think it was all at some point about him. And somebody was like, that's so crazy for me to think that she would do all of that for a man. And I'm like, but why? Like exactly. Thank you. That's the appropriate response, Niecy. Thank you. Because what?
Mhm. Mhm. She would and she did.
Okay. Miss,
She
it
would
wasn't
and
him.
she did.
Wipe your tears, honey. It was me.
No, no, it was
Okay.
me. That was me in the DMs. That tells you everything you need to know.
Right.
But
1000%.
that's what all those people on Love After Lockup do. Everybody on Love After Lockup that we've seen, the crazy person is the outsider, the free person, because they
Yeah.
want control, and the prisons give them that control, and they want somebody to be obsessed with them. It's easy for a prisoner to be obsessed with you if you're the only person they seeing.
Yeah.
Right. Um, Bondi is saying that Yandy positioned herself, to be more of an asset to Mendeecees. I feel like, I think I mentioned this earlier in one of my videos where I said I feel like that's the whole reason he got with her to begin with anyway, because it still was overlap. He still was fucking with Erica, the second baby mama. Like, I feel like y'all got to understand this man was a street man. He was slanging them
Yes.
drugs, this and that. And, I feel like he got with her because of status purposes. You know what I'm saying? To make himself look good, to bridge him into a different type of network
Remember, he
and
was the
stuff.
manager. He was managing Votto when he came on the show. I
Supposedly,
forgot
yes,
about that shit.
yes. So yeah, I mean, it's been a facade. I feel like Yandy has done a lot to try to keep him, to try to appear to be as important to him. A lot of people like to say, and we're gonna just gonna get into the Rasheeda and them and stuff of it all, but a lot of people like to say, oh, and I think I was one of those people, and my perspective has now changed. A lot of people would say, oh, I think it's great that Yandy didn't marry him. Good, you ain't tie yourself to that man to be able to, have to pay his restitution or whatever the case is. And I'm like, I think that made sense in the beginning as to why Yandy may not have married him, but still went on to have a wedding so that she could sock it to the other baby mamas to appear as though she's not just like them, even though years later you're still just like them. The only difference is you guys are able to fake it better for TV. I feel like a lot of their time was spent a lot of their time of them being married was with Mendeecees behind bars. So when Kirk says something about, oh, at least when he said Mendeecees was like, at least I ain't have no kid, sir, you were locked up for a good bit. I'm pretty sure if you were not, you definitely would have. Okay. But I feel like at this point, I wouldn't be surprised the way she went around last season begging this man to wear that ring. I wouldn't be surprised if she do want the wedding and he doesn't. That's what I think. I don't think it's any more of a Yandy. Oh, good. She didn't marry him. She ain't stupid. She ain't smart. Running around behind this man and having to bring a jeweler with the best rings to convince him to even put that bitch on is a woman that is not smart. In my personal, a person to go over there and then say, "Oh no, baby, wipe your tears, baby. That was me. That was me." Then go have a conversation with your husband and he don't even know that it was you. And an effort to deflect from him cussing you the fuck out in front of the cameras, you turn to the cameras and start cussing them out like the cameras and the audience trying to tell your shit apart.
They're trying to destroy our family.
Rasheeda and Kirk, like, it's in the room, okay? The problem is in the room, in the house, and in the bed with your ass, girl, okay?
Bondi, your face is literally.
You're gonna stop this.
No, honestly, y'all, to be real, that was probably the scariest shit I have ever seen in my life because, like Bonnie said earlier, a bitch that will betray herself for a man is gonna betray you every single time. And the lengths that she went to be delusional, that's a bitch you don't want around you ever. That bitch will kill you in broad daylight.
And then
That was crazy.
you got Tamika coming out talking about, but see, when I had got out the hospital, it was Yandy that was washing me in the tub. Make sure I was okay. I was just like, but bitch, you think we don't know you doing this for like marketing purposes so you can save your friend image because she in the streets looking real crazy right now? Come on, Tamika. It could have been anybody. But here's the thing, though. To me, there is something to be said about Portia and Yandy. Y'all was right and I was wrong. I really thought that Portia was.
What?
I thought Portia was.
Y'all, is my mic still too loud? I didn't turn the volume down.
I don't think
No,
it
you're
is.
good. You're good.
Okay, somebody keeps typing in
I
all
see that.
caps, and the caps are low key louder than what I feel like the mic is. Like sometimes it do be loud, and I try to turn it down, but I'm like, I can't even focus because I keep saying all caps. At least super chat me. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I
Thank
feel
you.
like it's fine. Sometimes I feel like your mic be low, so like I'm good with it being loud.
Yeah.
I turned it down. Y'all tell me if I need to turn it down some more because
No,
I don't want to see the comment no more. I'm trying to focus.
No, it's low key aggravating me too. I forgot what the fuck I was about to say.
Yeah.
Get over there with the green and the capital letters and shit. I hate when people be talking to us in capital letters and shit. Like, bitch, stop yelling at me. What I about to say about this shit? What we talking about?
So you said
We're
Portia
talking about
and Yandy.
Portia.
You said we
Portia
was
We're
right.
right.
Thank you. Portia and Yandy, y'all was right. Back in the day when they was doing their whole Black Lives Matter shit, I really felt like Portia was being sincere because I'm like, bitch, you're not really out there putting yourself in harm's way for a show. Then that book came out. Then the Simon shit happened. And I'm like, oh yeah, bitch, you don't have a sincere bone in your body. Nothing you do is for anybody but you. So yeah, you absolutely did do it for a show. Whoever the people that was like, Bondi, you wrong. Portia is doing this shit for a show. Y'all was right and I was wrong. But remember how Portia and Yandy were like this. So when Tamika tells me that, oh yeah, she came and washed you. When Kirk says that Rasheeda wanted to pay for Spice, I want people to remember that people do nice shit for other people because it's an investment. Like, I'm not dumb. I know there might be some people out here that don't understand how rich people and people with assets and businesses and how those relationships work. I actually know how those relationships work. And much of that shit is pretending to be friends so that we can utilize each other for our businesses and for money shit, and also for when we need somebody to have our back. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of people know that I can trust people only so much, so I only give them so much. I give them what I'm prepared for them to hear, see, whatever. So even with a friendship with those women, I still feel like they showcase to us that they betrayed themselves so heavily. You still can't trust that just because they was being there for somebody, that it's 100% selfless. And also, it don't need to be, because it doesn't matter. That's great that you did good shit for people, but that don't change the other shit that you be doing, which is acting weird for a nigga. Like,
Nah. And what also was crazy as fuck to me was when Yandy was wearing that Angela Davis wig.
oh,
Um, Girl, you didn't have to do all that to get the message across.
Oh yeah. And that's why I be feeling like she's just not that authentic of a person to me. I've always felt that way about her. And it hasn't really changed. For me, I do question, listening to this interview with Kirk and Rasheeda, they try to say that, Kirk tries to says that somebody tried to take their spot or whatever. And I was looking like sideways, like, boy, shut the hell up. But at the same time, I'm like, I wonder if somebody in production made them think that they could or something like that. Because y'all remember when Yandy and them first moved down to Atlanta, they did try to center that season around Yandy and Mendeecees. That's what they tried to do. So I'm like, is he really far off when he says that or not? Because that was a horrible season, and we all drug it and talked about that, and they began to pivot from that moment.
But that's why
but
we
it's
know.
interesting because I'm like, but there's really no spots to be trying to take.
Yes, that's why we know
hip-hop.
that. Exactly.
Okay,
That's why we know that. Because at the end of the day, like, y'all were on a whole nother show and it got canceled. We know you niggas. Like, y'all are not new here or anything. We know y'all. Everybody that was watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was also watching Love and Hip Hop New York. Okay. Mm-hmm. Or more accurately, if you were watching Love and Hip Hop New York, you were absolutely watching Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, not the other way around. I think Atlanta did better, which is why it's the only one of the franchises besides Miami that's still going right now. Also because of the lax COVID regulations in southern states versus in some of the northern states and in California, just to be clear about that. That wasn't because those shows were doing so much better. It was because the southern states had more lax regulation than California and New York.
Yep.
So just peep that shit. But I just kind of feel like, bro, like there were no spots to be taken. They're who they are, and they're not going to get any more play than they already get. We've already seen enough of Mendeecees and Yandy to the point that we really wanted them to not come to Atlanta, but they did anyway. When it comes to Kirk and Rasheeda, we didn't want y'all to come back, because how much of y'all do we need? And we feel like y'all mad at us because of how we've responded to y'all. And at this point, I'm mad that you mad at us. Get the fuck off the show. That's how I feel. Like, get off the show.
Oh man, do we need to go into anything else with them with this interview?
Oh yes.
Absolutely. Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's play this.
Yeah.
I love Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It's a great show to watch. I'm loving this season. Yandy is one of my babies who I love.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think in a million years that my baby Rasheeda and my other baby Yandy would be at odds.
For me, I just look at it like, what you finna say? I hear you. Look, I can hear you. And you ain't talking, but I can hear you. I don't like when people try to throw something on you that is so false. Like they're trying to the
concept was
Go ahead.
Girlfriend, girl code. This
Right.
is what I'm going to run with, girl code, girlfriend. And this being honest, Rasheeda introduced her to her friends. Rasheeda gave her the game on the restaurant, how to get the liquor license, how to do stuff. She really put up on the game, right? But the thing is, people get to see what's said on TV. But when I had Cannon, Yandy she never got a phone call.
Well, those friends who supported me, that she wasn't a part of that.
Right. She never got phone call.
She never talked to me at all.
So
about
from then to now, she's never checked on her during that situation, and you can speak on it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I say when you say girl code, real friend, you try to get these people to rally up against, like. And long story short, me and Rasheeda contract was up, and motherfuckers was going for our spot. That's what really happened now. But Kai, my son, got into a collision. It was on the Shade Room.
It was everywhere.
Views, everything. Yandy never called her to check on Kai. Is everything
when I
okay?
tell you, I heard from every person on the planet.
What confused me is how all of a sudden you such a friend and you never checked on her when the Cannon thing happened. You never checked on her even when it came alive. When Jasmine came back, you never even checked on her then. But y'all friends.
And also too, just for the thing, I don't like to be blamed for something that I had no parts of. Okay. And that's where I think my patience runs short. You can't sit here and say it's all because of Kirk and Rasheeda that we're dealing with this Jasmine situation. We can't say that. And that's what kind of took it there for me, because I'm like, okay, now you want to play the friend card, but Yandy, you've been doing this reality TV shit for a long time. Before me. So you know how the game going, you know the play. So if we real friends, we don't go past those lines. We keep it straight. We keep it 100. We keep it a buck. You already knew what you were doing. And so that's why I gave it the energy I gave. And I said what I said, because at the end of the day, I know what you're doing and it's okay. And if people want to run with it and say, Rasheeda's not a good friend, she's not where your man stick his penis ain't got nothing to do with me.
With that being said, you did say in your confessional that, it is rumored that allegedly Mendeecees has other women. Do you think Mendeecees is cheating on Yandy?
Have you ever asked that question in Atlanta?
Do you think Mendeecees cheating on Yandy? Okay. Yeah. First of all, hell no.
I'm not Atlanta for a reason.
Okay, then. There we go.
Okay.
Sounds like a plead the fifth one for me, baby. Yeah.
You said it out your mouth.
Well, this is what I'm going to say.
I never met Mendeecees. I don't know anything.
Let me tell you this. I want to say something.
No, Kirk. I want Rasheeda to answer.
Well,
Because you said in your interview.
This is what I will say. I've seen things, and that's just that. That people have brought to me. Let me say it like that.
Did you ever go to her with the things she said? Why not?
Because I don't do stuff like that. Because somebody's bringing me something. Now, had I walked in and seen this somebody, then I might pick up the phone and be like, baby, listen, I just walked in and seen your man going crazy. You better get your ass here before I whoop his.
Well, the things you seen were just like rumors.
Just a little bit people saying that B-Day receipts, that they have. But I'm really not that girl, though. I'm not sitting here running around doing this and doing that. But also, too, I feel like this. Me and Yandy have not had that type of relationship. We don't talk about our husbands. And I know people see the television side of things, and we are in the same friend circles. But there's levels to friendship. I get it. You said that and you did that. There was an agenda. And it's totally fine. You can have the agenda. Y'all can have that. It's all cool. But don't sit here and try to play on my character like, oh my God, I've been holding you down so long and you ain't even got my back. Girl, where was you at when I was going through my You didn't reach out that way. You ain't pull up on me. You know why? Because we don't know where each other lives. We never have.
Never been to each other.
We've never been to each other's house.
Y'all ain't friends at all.
So then the world wants to look at me like I'm some type of
to her house or vice versa.
No.
Y'all ain't friends. Y'all ain't friends. Do you feel like Yandy and Mendeecees are trying to come for y'all spot on the show?
Well, me and Mendeecees had a call, and and I was producers had a little something that Rasheeda don't like a producer on the show, right? So he does spiteful shit to Rasheeda, and I had to check and say, listen, you about at my wits end now. I'm telling the people, he do this again, I'm gonna fuck him up. Because you playing, you thinking it's a joke, and I'm trying to let you know I don't rock like that. I keep it 100. I don't. So with me and Mendeecees, we good. We talking, and he told me, he said, listen, man, what had happened is it was a play. It didn't go the right way, But he told me on the phone, just straight up and down. You just gonna have to take it on the chin. Yo,
no, I know you wanted to go out.
I know you wanted to go out on top because I said, well, I'm glad it's me and Rasheeda's last month season anyway. I'm glad to get. I was just venting because
to your point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to negotiate. You know, I want them to give me some more money. I'm trying to raise my pay. So I said the wrong.
Love y'all. Y'all keep it real.
You know what I'm saying? So
Okay,
motherfuckers
yeah.
they thinking we leaving. So now motherfuckers is challenged in the position.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying
So that's
like,
what I'm
what the now here's the thing. You in Atlanta, we in Atlanta. I have friends that I love who do certain things in their marriage and relationship. I don't judge them. I love them. I don't care.
You can't judge.
If you doing what you're doing, do what you do. I just feel like they held back some information from us that they should have told us. And that's me keeping it 100.
In terms of like things they knew about you guys or just what they were going through.
Go to Vegas and look up me and Rasheeda marriage certificate.
Well, no, not in terms of us, because one thing
I
I do have to say is me and Kirk been as transparent as you can get.
I put it on TV.
We put this shit out there. Like I dealt with the whole.
And I said this, and I'm getting in because I don't care where he put his private. It's his, right? This is me keeping it 100. But when you start saying slick, like, well, I'm the only one on the show who ain't had a baby. You don't have all these goddamn baby mamas coming for Yandy. I'm just keeping it 100. But it's none of my. I'm not. This is stuff that happened on the show, right?
Yeah.
But I really feel like, for me, number one, what's happening for Mendeecees and Yandy, you know, for Atlanta to like you, it needs to happen because they funny down here anyway. You know, Atlanta is funny. Mm-hmm. You are getting some new traction, right? So I'm gonna give you your props. That's the Harlem. He's smart. I got to give him credit when credit is due, and I got to give her credit when credit is due because they attacked us in a way where now they're into it with Kirk and Rasheeda. And that's where I was like, I applaud you for that one. You did your big one, right? But I do think on No Shade, I'm like, bro, I've been to 2 weddings. For me to find out you motherfuckers really ain't married, that took me for a loop.
Are Yandy and Mendeecees legally not married?
There's no marriage certificate. Those were weddings.
Between us girls, Rasheeda, is that true?
Listen, this is what I will tell you. A marriage certificate is a legal document and a public document.
I feel like we heard enough. Or y'all wanted to keep going?
No, we didn't need to keep going because I can add some other context from this 2-hour shitload. So you know how we was always talking about the origins of their relationship, and they swear up and down, you know, oh, it's not that serious. She was of age. We were not together when I was underage. Da da da. Girl, y'all met when you were 17, and y'all first date when you was 18. So yeah. And y'all are 6 years apart. So it don't matter how you shake it. When you were 18, he was what, 24, 25, 24?
I mean, let him tell it the way he was talking. He did whatever it was. He was older and he was well established.
Yes, and he had a record. He had a record studio and label to sign Rasheeda on when she felt like her career was not going to happen. So to me, you're already entering this relationship with power dynamics with you having power over Rasheeda. When they first got on Love and Hip Hop, the same way he sat up there in that fucking interview talking about, oh, you know, put him on and make him want to marry me, got 1 billion streams. You know, that's what we doing. Sir, when that lady played that record in her fucking Jeep, you looked at her like she was stupid. Like the
thought about that
whack. Like you didn't want her to do pressed. So I feel like, no, at the end of the day, you was trying to stop her and she did not let you stop her. And you still was cheating on her and treating her badly and then flipping it on her and making it seem like she was the one that was cheating on you. But y'all want to sit on this fucking show and act like you loved her so much and that was just your best friend and you only fucked up that one time. That is not what we saw from y'all. And if y'all want to act like that was just for TV and that wasn't real, that's fine. But stop fucking playing in our face, acting like the only thing that ever happened was Jasmine. Like, stop.
Yeah, he was in the hot tub with Bambi.
Yes.
Yep. And then she went to the house with when he had that
Jasmine,
artist.
Jasmine. That one too, Ashley the artist. He had an apartment with Ashley the artist. He brought Jasmine, the bartender, to the house to babysit that baby, and Rasheeda kicked her ass out. Said, "Give me my baby and get the fuck out." Then the shit happened with the girl Ashley, and they find out that Ashley was gay, but Kirk really wanted Ashley. He thought he was gonna get Ashley. Because why the fuck else was you letting her live in an apartment? That don't make no sense. Then when you know that all of that was happening at the same time the Jasmine shit was happening, we just didn't know about it at the time. That should let you know that Kirk was on some, I'm a man with money and means, so I should be able to have a little young girl that I have a baby with that I take care of outside of my family because I'm a nigga with means. Because if you look at what he thinks is to be a cool man, Harlem niggas, New York niggas from the 80s and the 90s, that's about drug dealing and cars and getting women and taking care of families. They grew up with their daddies having a main house and then a younger woman across town, and he paid for her to live too. And that's what you're supposed to have because you a man and you got money. So Kirk was going to have that because of that reason. So when they get up there now and act like that's not what was going on, I'm just kind of like, bro, stop playing in my fucking face. He wasn't just your best friend. He was a nigga that was always in a space to
He was
use
your
you.
sponsor for a little bit. He killed me whenever he said we've been at two. Oh, am I still muted?
No, I can hear you. You said
Oh, that happened last week.
We can't hear you.
That
I can hear her.
it's Bonnie, yeah. That happened last week, like almost at the same time. But he killed me when he said we went to two weddings and then to find out these motherfuckers ain't married. No, for real. Like, give me my time back. Give me my travel feedback. All that shit. Y'all ain't married.
Damn. That made me think of that Martin episode. You mean to tell me I did all of that and you ain't even real? I paid $15 for what she said. I paid $5, $45 for that book.
Oh my gosh.
Let me get to these super chats real fast. Shy Girl's perspective says, I've been in the toxic relationship with my best friend, or where my best friend left. Glad she did. It made me reflect my life and get it all the way together. Leaving may actually save them. Okay. She's speaking about friendships, the conversation we had earlier. Thank you, Shy Girls, for the super chat. Kevin says, I'm ready for Yandy, Luther King, and Georgia Prune to be off my TV screen. Listen, I'm here for that. Thank you for the super chat. It was funny to hear Kirk talk about how K Michelle still got them one-liners about them that still stick, like the three Kirk and his three earrings, which is why Kirk don't really like to wear the damn three earrings no more. Hollering, I'm Rasheeda. I rap like Shawty Low. Like, baby, K Michelle, we miss you, girl. It's funny.
Can y'all see me?
K Michelle versus Spice. Yeah, we can see you. We be crazy.
I'm missing the background. I had to go to another browser for some reason. The browser was just acting weird. It be doing.
It's doing it again. I think that yeah, K Michelle versus Spice would be. Oh, there she go.
Okay, I'm good now. I can see
You good? Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't see the background. It was in black. Oh, and I heard you talking about Shawty Low. So you told them that she's the one that told Shawty Low how to rap. Yes.
I thought she wrote. Oh, so did she teach him how to rap, or she just wrote his stuff?
I think she wrote his stuff, but that was her flow. When they was talking about ain't I was like, bitch, you ain't lying. That was my shit. And that does sound like her.
It did. Oh, she ain't I
got it going on.
My thing is, why y'all just ain't clear that up a long time ago? When y'all had reunions and stuff, like, why was that never cleared up to begin with? Maybe they just didn't care to clear it up. Now, when they talked about, I've heard them talk about their sync stuff before and making money and all of that. So I believe they got bread from those multiple sources. Cause I'm like, damn, you can't be friends with I would think you couldn't be friends with Candy and not know how to get it, especially if you sign in the same industry and y'all had a group together.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that's what's up. So I mean, I guess if y'all don't need this show, then I guess we'll see you guys later.
Nah,
go ahead and head out.
They still gonna be here utilizing this platform, aggravating the shit out of us, mad that we mad at them. Like that's the thing that aggravates me the most is Rasheeda be like, I don't give a fuck. I'm all right. I'm fine. And then be like, but y'all didn't see what I went through. Y'all didn't see the well, man, you didn't want to show it to us. And I'm not saying we owed it to you, but I feel like there was never a moment where Kirk actually had to be really punished. When she talked about I lived in this house, he lived over there. Y'all was still married to the public. Y'all was still acting like y'all was together. Y'all never really broke up where Kirk had to deal with you being not his wife. had to deal with his consequences, causing y'all to completely break up and him not being able to depend on you the way he did, because y'all was still co-parenting. Y'all was still, doing shit for each other, even though y'all wasn't fucking with each other. Still doing business. So to me, I just kind of feel like she never really punished Kirk. Kirk just got older. And I feel like now Kirk is just too tired to maintain multiple women. So now he's gonna act right, and now she's in a space to be like, okay, well, you better act right. But it's like, bitch, when he
We done weathered the storm.
yeah.
I will say, for me, I don't even know if I think age is a contributing factor, but I feel like Kirk still runs, in my opinion, like he's still a young guy. So I feel like he still has that in him. So for me, I think the lesson for Kirk to me may be Kanan. Not expecting to have a child as late as he did. I think that could have been the lesson for him, where he like, all right, I'm gonna have to do something. And then also the status of or shall I say, the wealth that they've acquired. Seeing how, to me, the cow is Rasheeda. So if that's snatched from you, then how much are you really finna be able to eat? In my personal, I mean, I don't know what the splits
You
look
said
like.
the wealth is the wealth, Rasheeda?
Well, I mean, maybe it's not wealth, but I mean, I'll say wealth. If they millionaires, if they got it, like, because she talked about 7 streams of income, being millionaires, they got different investments, like as far as like against like a rehab house, they got their retail space, she got her press line, they do love and hip hop, she got her sync licensing things where she gets that in TV, film, and stuff like that. Right. So that's about 6 right there. So I could see them, having that. And once that split, what they look like, what you making, I don't know how much he would continue to get. But I think the financials and Kanan may have changed some things for him. But I also question if he probably went and got that snip.
Yeah, he probably did. That would have been the smartest thing to do, and then not put it on the show like some of them other niggas did. But I just I still don't like the way Rasheeda acts. Like, you could just still, during the interview, you could still hear 2 things going on. Rasheeda making excuses for his behavior, and him being mad that people felt a way about his behavior. Like being mad that people told Rasheeda to leave him. He was like, after all I did? What you mean after all you did, you creepy ass old nigga? Like, what do you mean after all you did? Like, you think because you help Rasheeda get money in a long run that it was okay for you to kind of like groom her from an early age to do what you wanted her to do. You could tell all he had to do was be like Aggie, and she would move emotionally. In a relationship, you know how that work. All he got to do is a little bit of discomfort, and you're gonna start stretching and surviving good times to see how you can make him feel better about himself, whatever that means. So then when he go out and cheat on you, you'll feel like it's your fault because you saw him feeling uncomfortable and then you couldn't fix it for him. Especially if y'all been together since you was like 18, bitch. Like, you don't know nothing else. You have no other reference point. And also, you have never been like alone and had to stand on your own 2 feet in order to feel like you could survive without him. People, like, relationships most of the time are codependency. I don't give a fuck what I'm talking about. So if he did all of that to you, you should have at least left that nigga for real for at least 5 minutes, even if y'all got back together. Like, I'm all here for circling the block if everybody has learned a lesson, but I do feel like people need to leave. Like,
some people, though, I think some people, if they leave, they not going back, which is why she never left. That's what the old folks tell you. You ain't supposed to leave. You ain't supposed to leave because once you do, you ain't going back. That's whenever. If you want to maintain delusion, you have to stay where the delusion is fed, and that's what she knew. She created some sort of separation, but if they ever broke it off and had a true separation, she would have discovered peace on the other side of that. She didn't want to discover that.
Yeah, her definition was living in a different house while he at the other house, but still, I felt
still
like
together.
that's still him enjoying a bit of the luxury of it and not really fully feeling his pain. The other thing I wanted to highlight was when Bondi said that he was like, after all I did, and I'm like, yeah, nigga, after all you did, after all this stress and shit that you done put this lady through, yes, after all you did, because Rasheeda don't need you. And I feel like of course she knows that too, but she didn't really like apply that because having a friend like Candy, she didn't necessarily need need Kirk for a lot of shit because a lot of it was her idea any damn way.
Mm-hmm.
So she was gonna get it and gonna continue to get it. That's why I say she's the cow.
Yeah. It's really sad when you look at it because you wonder what she would have done had she left him. Because I remember when Deb Adney was talking to her like, girl, you know, he's holding you down. He's got you in the gutter. You're stinking like a dead fish. Like she was going in. But like sometimes you think about that, like you could have gone much farther had you left him, even if you got older and got back with that nigga because you really loved him. Like I still feel like he would have needed to prove something. Like, first of all, prove you can succeed without me, for real. And then prove that you could treat me as an equal, like really respect me in the process of trying to be with me, not just so you could use me. And I think that a lot of what we saw was his code, like his guilt. That's what I was gonna say. She act like because she was like in another house, that means she wasn't dealing with the guilt that he was like putting on her. But he was like, every day I was there doing something. When you really don't let them niggas go and they still there trying to make up for it, you're still living with their guilt. So there is a part of their guilt that is making you feel like you need to forgive them so that they can stop looking and feeling guilty. There's like a patheticness about it that you want them to get out of. So you start to feel like I need to hurry up and get over this so he can stop being like this. Because this is starting to, you know, it looks bad for a man to always be like, oh, forgive me and looking pitiful. And to me, Kirk looked like he's mastered walking around looking pitiful so that somebody will give him an emotional response. So that's why I feel like she never really was free of him for real, because she probably still had to deal with like all of that guilt and resentment when she wasn't with him that he carried while they had to deal with each other. But
you know, as you speak of guilt or whatnot, and we talking, I wasn't gonna play this, but I have to because he really bothered me. I have to. It's gonna be real quick. I promise.
It bothered me, but now I just look at it, I be like, wow, they don't know me. So they don't know, like when these girls say little shit, they went through some real shit like that, and they believe these girls. You feel what I'm saying? They believe these girls. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Erica, she was telling somewhat of the truth, and Diamond tell some of the truth, Shay tell some of the truth, but it don't be all of the truth. You know what I'm saying? They say they have. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what about my half? Always 2-3 sides to the story. Yeah. I'm like, what about my half of this shit? What about my half? I helped you when it wasn't none of this shit going on. Y'all had to help me when I was on my down part of my life, bro. Like when I was at my heat part of my life, I was helping y'all. They leave that shit out just like, why did I get married? And she telling him like, nigga, I built all this shit. I got my hair salon on. You like, bitch, who got you the hair salon? When I was popping, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. It bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Then when you get back up and you moving around, they want you to slow down again because they not used to you being the nigga that's popping because you had a downtime. You're like, man, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. They don't bring nothing to the table in the beginning. Listen, they don't bring nothing to the table in the beginning. But as soon as you build them up and you make them feel like they the hot shit, then they gonna try to tell you they been had the table. How you been had the table, nigga? How you been had the table? I be telling niggas, just go back in history. Go back in history and watch this motherfucker. See who this motherfucker was. Find the spot in their life where you start seeing them and you was like, oh, you gave a fuck. Who are they standing next to? Who had influence on their life? You have to look at shit like that. And I don't think people look at that shit. They just like to make the man, the actual man, or the famous person, the bad person. Like, and that shit is totally wrong. You know,
So
when you give a bummy fat nigga a chance, it will always come back to bite you in the ass. When you give a bummy fat nigga a chance, it will always come back to bite you in the ass. When you give, I'm a Dr. Umar this shit. When you give a bummy mama's boy a chance, he will always disappoint you. Because my God, today, how long these people been broke up, and why this nigga got a whole new girlfriend, got a whole new baby mama, and he's still online talking about this lady.
And the thing is, he talking about all of them, right? He talking about
Mhm.
Erica, Diamond, Shay, and Bam. And he's
Yikes.
saying that they didn't have no motion, right? Before he came along, but Erica was keeping you afloat when you weren't relevant. Thank God for Love and Hip Hop. But Erica already had, she showed us the certificates and stuff she had going on. So for you to play her to the left like you gave her so much is messed up. We already knew who the hell Diamond was. I could have sworn Shay and Bambi were both on Flavor Flav before Love and Hip Hop even came
Bambi
along.
Busy went on there.
Oh,
She was
I
on
thought she was on
Basketball
Flavor Flav.
Wives.
Basketball Wives. She was on
Basketball Wives.
Basketball Wives. I'm like, we
She's
already,
Malaysia's friend.
yeah, well, it was like we
Mhm.
already knew these people. So for you to
Yes.
act like you give them all so much attention, like I just kind of disagree.
He didn't mention the last baby mama because he ain't got shit now. So he's just mentioning women that he was with when he felt like he was at his peak. Now that you ain't got shit, you know you ain't got nothing to offer. So you didn't mention the last baby mama. So yeah, and honestly, the thing is, the only thing that I feel like he had to offer at the time was a little bit of relevance.
Mm,
But they had their
mm.
shit going, would have been fine one way or another.
Right.
And he knows that.
I don't know. I feel like now, as much as he says they wanted to be attached to him, I feel like he wants to be attached to them in some way because he continues to go on and on about it. It's like, sir, just hold what you got for a second, please.
What Susie says of Sally. What's going on, Scrap? Why you need validation that you yeah. He needs validation that he offers something to them, is basically what I'm hearing.
I guess so. Well, congrats and good luck. At least Michelle Obama gave y'all a piece of a shout out. Anywho, real quick before we move on from loving hip hop, I just hate to highlight the fact that Miss Carly Red done messed around and got herself a piece of a mugshot, fooling with that man. Y'all know that they weren't even supposed to be having no contact. It's crazy because I did see clips from the episode where Zell was talking all kind of smack about her man and didn't even think it was gonna be a wedding. And I guess they had the wedding and got married, and it ain't even been a full year. And they going through this. And I'm like, Carly, what the hell did you go and get? But they're saying it took place back in January, but the charges appear to have been filed in April. So I guess he was mad. Like, if I'm gonna get a mugshot, your ass gonna get one too for coming in my house taking my shit. So it's sad and unfortunate, Miss Carly, but good luck. I don't think you need to get in no more marriages. I think you should just date, enjoy yourself, enjoy your grandchild.
And don't get no more plastic surgery.
Grandchild.
Enjoy your grandchild, okay? And that's it. Like, just to live life, just live your life. But that's that on there. All right.